Welcome to the Echo Tips Podcast. This is episode number 56. We're going to be discussing a really cool topic today, and that is old-time radio. That's right, those old-timey radio shows that you enjoy so much that you used to hear on the radio, and you can go back and listen to those. We're going to talk about how you can listen to those on your Amazon Echo today. But before we get into that, we're going to have just a brief message about our podcast, and then I'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by the New Vision program at Goodwill. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission services help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Well, hello again and welcome back. I'm David Ward. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, if you're maybe new, I'm an assistive technology instructor with the New Vision program at Goodwill here in Southwest Virginia. And it's a pleasure to have you with us today. And if you're returning, it's good to have you as well. So as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about old-time radio. You think of those radio dramas and different things that just kind of knock your socks off, especially go back and you listen to some of them. It's a real hoot. So we're going to talk about several different ways you can listen to those kind of old programs on your Amazon Echo. But before we get into that too far, it'd be a good idea for you to mute the ears on your Amazon Echo. And that way, when I'm doing the demonstration, your Echo at home isn't trying to respond. So what you'll need to do is find your Amazon Echo. There should be a button on the top. If it's a typical cylinder one, it'll have a little silhouetted microphone on it with a slash through it. And you'll press that button. It'll turn the ring on the top red. And that basically tells you that she shut her ears off and won't respond to her name. If you have one with a screen, it's usually, if the screen is facing you, it's on the top left side of that button. And it'll make a thump sound when you push it. So I'll just give you a moment to do that. And then we'll get into old-time radio. Okay. All right, so hopefully you all have been able to do that. Now we're going to talk about some old-timey radio. So one of the cooler things that I have discovered in recent months is there is, I think it's a nonprofit, I'm not positive, but it's out of California, and they've taken a lot of the radio shows and given them their own separate skills for your Echo. Now, just as a recap for those who might forget, a skill is kind of like an app for your Echo, like you'd have an app on your phone or your tablet, but it's the nomenclature that they use with the Echo. It's called a skill. So each one of these skills is kind of unique and separate to a particular category of drama, and I think it even remembers your place. So it's pretty cool. So if you want to look for the whole listing of these, what you would do is open the app and you would hit the menu button in the top left corner, and then you would tap on skills, and then there's a search box, and this company is called, I'm not too sure how you pronounce this, Apply, APPBLY.com. So that's APPBLY.com. And if you search for that, you would come up with dozens, if maybe not, maybe way over 50 or 60 different radio programs from old times that you can listen to that are individual skills. So they're super, super cool. So let's take a classic here, and I'll show you how you open it. And if you're doing it for the first time, it may ask you to initialize it. And if you have a little trouble, they've kind of changed the way this works in recent months. You might need to say enable. So in other words, say it was Superman, you would say, "A lady, enable the radio Superman skill." Or "A lady, enable the mystery theater, radio mystery theater skill." But mine are already enabled, and I think even if you say open, it will prompt you, do you want to enable it? So let's give it a try. Alexa, open Radio Superman.
You were listening to Radio Superman, Episode Audition Part 2, The Shark, 1939. Please say yes to resume or no to play from the beginning of the playlist.
Yes.
Aboard, in the battery room, till the very last minute. They're going to wire the controls. And when the bottle swings against the bow...
I understand. It fires the atom bomb. And by that time, the shark and his friends will be out of the way. Look, Commander, that boat's in the water.
Only part of it. The rest is on the waves.
Quick, is there an entrance underwater?
Alexa, stop. So you get the idea. I had already had it playing, and it picked up where it left off. So you have things like Mystery Theater, all sorts of old-timey radio shows. Here's one that we're probably many of you are familiar with. Alexa, open Radio Gunsmoke.
You were listening to Radio Gunsmoke, Broadcast 1, Episode 1, Billy the Kid, April 26, 1952. Please say yes to resume or no to play from the beginning of the playlist.
No. Oh, there it is, the opening, the very first episode. There you go.
Around Dodge City, into the territory on West.
Oh, isn't that
There's just
awesome?
one way to handle the killers and the spoilers,
Alexa,
and that's with a...
stop. Okay, so you get the idea. That's pretty cool. So there's several different skills in that category, and like I said, you can search for that company's name or website, and they've made a lot of them. Now, there's another way to play a lot of old-timey radio, and I'll just be brief because we're kind of short on time with this episode. But you could play a lot of things off of TuneIn. So you might recall that there's a lot of podcasts and different things that are available on TuneIn. You can even go to tunein.com and search for different things. But here's just a few that are connected with old-timey radio. Alexa, play Yesteryear Old-Time Radio on TuneIn.
Here's Yesteryear Old Time Radio from TuneIn.
Hi, my name is Daniel Lance, and I'm the owner of this podcast. I don't normally
Alexa,
speak on my podcast,
skip.
but today warrants a special occasion.
You're currently playing the latest episode.
The D-Day
Alexa,
landing invasion in Europe.
Fast forward 30 seconds.
There's only 9 seconds left in this episode.
Oh, he's almost
Today,
done
the
anyway.
CBS coverage of the D-Day landing invasion. So happy in listening, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. Thank you.
Playing complete D-Day CBS 1944 75th anniversary broadcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's playing some of this content.
Bob Trout speaking. And again, we bring you the available reports, all of them from German sources, on what the Berlin radio calls the invasion. There is still no Allied confirmation from...
So that's one example. Let's try one more. Alexa, stop. Alexa, play AM America's Old Time Radio on TuneIn.
AM America Old Time Radio from TuneIn.
You do it right to save because you work too hard for your money not to. Lowe's is here to help with special Labor Day savings throughout
Alexa,
the store.
stop. But you get the idea. Basically, if you could try either one of those on your Echo. All right, well, that'll wrap things up for this episode. Next time, we're going to be talking about Cortana, another virtual assistant you can use through your Echo. That's kind of mind-warping. So anyway, we'll talk a little bit about Cortana on your Amazon Echo in our next episode. Until that time, it's time to turn your microphone back on, start practicing some of the many things that you've learned. And I'm David Ward for the New Vision program at Goodwill, and we thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dave. In conclusion, let me tell you a thing or two. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and it is also made possible in part by a grant from Community Foundation serving Western Virginia. And there's more. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. For more information, check out our website at goodwillvalleys.com/newvision, with no spaces. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a non-profit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission programs help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Thanks for listening.